Hey everyone, this is Nick from GamersNexus.net, and I'm excited to be talking to you about the MMORPG WildStar from Carbine Studios and their Warplots PvP combat. Warplots is a 40 vs 40 PvP base battle mode that features upgradable and destructible structures and some amazing NPC combat integration. So I'll talk about how a team gets set up, how the Warplot is constructed, all the upgradable structures and some tactical items, and how the game generally plays out. So to form your team, or war party, you can have up to 40 members. Everyone's got to be level 15 or higher. If you don't have 40 people, you can also recruit mercenaries who get matched to your team's skill. You can actually have 80 people on your roster, but only 40 of those can be in battle. When you go to set up the base, you'll have your basic foundations and structures like ramps and stairs, force fields, and 2 generators in the back that the enemy can destroy to win. But that's just one way to win. The other is draining all of the war party's energy meter, which I'll go over a little later. Creating the warplot happens in a stage that's separate from the battle, so you don't have to rush this part. The warplot's actually floating in midair, and you can invite others to come in and help you build the warplot and strategize freely before you enter that separate battle stage. The warplot has 7 spots called sockets that you can populate with plugs. These are kind of like armories or the research labs in the RTSs you might have played like StarCraft. I'll go over them one by one here. So first of all, you've got a travel plug to shoot players from the base to the battlefield, kind of like the man cannon in Halo. Then you've got small plugs that are offensive and defensive plugs for armor mitigation, health bonuses, for your deployables like turrets and handcrafted items, traps, things like that. Also, there can be barriers and defense grids for the map armed with lasers and obstacles and things like that. The third type of plug is the large plug, and there are 2 varieties that come to mind here. So there's a guard plug that summons NPC guards of different types and abilities to your base, and you can upgrade their health and damage. And then there are also hazard plugs that create full 3D zones that deal out damage to the enemy, but not to you. Actually, you can camp out in the hazard zone in your hazmat suit to easily finish off players. The last plug is the super weapon. And as cool as the multiple rocket launcher and the gargantuan orbital lasers come off to me, I'm going to cut right to the chase and talk about the boss owner modification. You can actually go to a dungeon or out to a raid and pick up a boss token that lets you summon your boss during battle. It's actually a 20-man boss, so that means that the smaller bosses from the game have been upgraded specifically for warplots, and they may have different abilities and attacks that you haven't seen before. So your boss by default guards one of your generators, but you can spend your match resources and actually teleport your boss into the other team's base for a boss-on-boss battle. So I mentioned earlier that you can win a match by destroying the enemy's 2 generators or by depleting all of their energy. You deplete the other team's energy by player kills, boss kills, and destroying all of those plugs that I mentioned. Actually, you destroy the smaller units around them that are called structure units. Now, to be able to upgrade your plugs, fire your super weapons, and summon reinforcement guards, you'll need to win the neutral ground of the battle and control what are called nanopack nodes. Every nanopack node that your team controls will generate a stacking damage vulnerability debuff to the enemy's generators. But if you can control some of the nodes and the neutral ground, you can upgrade your plugs and fire your super weapons sooner. Alright, so that's a quick overview of Warplots. To learn more about these different gameplay elements in detail, check out our extended Warplots coverage on GamersNexus.net. Thanks for watching, everybody, and for putting up with my cold.